Remember the other day when I made a video and I said this is absolutely ridiculous? It's like 60 degrees outside. Not anymore. Ridiculous. I've been saying for like a month and a half I'm going to change that right wiper blade. You think I've done it? Nope, clearly I have not. I have new ones at the shop, I just never get to it. And anytime I have time to do it, I forget. But anyway, we're going to go to the shop today and continue prepping mowers, because even though we got this crappy weather, who knows, I think spring's going to come earlier than they say. I'm not discrediting the fact that we might get hit with a few storms in March, but I don't see it as being anything big. Ding, ding, ding. I don't see it as being anything big. I think we might get a couple storms, nothing major, but I think come April, oh, here we go, windows all, look at that. Look at what a wonderful job these wipers are doing. Usually the one on the driver's side works pretty good, but it's clumped up with ice right now because it's 24 degrees outside. But anyway, so let's go to the shop and we'll see what we can get into today. You know what's really annoying? I don't know if you can see that far away. I can never tell what this camera can see, but right there's a plow, there's a plow, there's a plow. All these plows sitting over here. None of them getting used because we get a dusting and not enough to plow. And we got a trailer sitting right over there, another trailer sitting over there, and another trailer that's not here. Are they getting used? No, because it's not spring yet and I can't use those. I really do not like this time of year. That's gotta go. That belongs to one of Billy's friends. That's gotta go. I know a guy is supposed to come and get that. I told him he can come and get it. It's free. Get it out of here. We found it. It can be fixed, but it needs a lot of work. It could be a fun toy. But if he doesn't come and get it, I'm giving it to the next person that wants it. So the dually's sitting in here. I still haven't gone to get the steel for that yet. If you guys watched the video the other day, you know we got a lot of this cleaned up. All the huge pile of boxes out of here. All that stuff taken care of. That mower still needs service. Windstorm is fine. The Ferris just needs the blades done. Everything else is done. Noah's mower needs full service. The V-Ride 2 is done. The right stander X is done. Nothing with the X mark. Nothing with the walker. Toro needs service. That's Natalie's. That's Billy's. That's Billy's. I don't need to do nothing here. Billy ripped the plastics off his two-stroker yesterday. That needs work. My 100 needs a couple parts thrown on it, but other than that, it runs fine. Shitter pitter's fine. 70's fine. 70's fine. My little chopper bike is fine. Noah's 70 needs a wire fixed on it, and it'll be fine. My 110 is fine for the most part, but the clutch cable needs adjusted. Noah's 150 is fine. My jet ski, I need to pull the bottom shield off, pull all the seaweed out of the propeller that got stuck in there and left me stranded in the lower Niagara River. Still haven't gotten to that. My 140, perfectly fine. That's my baby. So it's not like I have any shortage of projects here. That is for sure. Okay, so I think what we're gonna work on today is, we'll get to whatever else we can, but I think the main focus today is let's get Noah's mower taken care of for him. So, as many of you guys know, this V-Ride 1, I traded, I believe this was, I've gone through so many mowers over the years, it's ridiculous. But I believe this is the mower I know you guys been following me forever, remember, and you can jog my memory for me. Throw it down there in the comments. Let me know. Is this the mower that I traded that 36-inch walk behind? The brand new one I bought, I traded for this, even though this was used because it was a better mower to fit our needs. I think that's what I did. I can't remember. But put it down in the comments if you guys remember. I know you guys have been following me long enough. Is this the mower? Anyway, we took this out of service last year. And we gave this mower to Noah so he can use it to mow his grass. So it does have a small oil leak. It's right down where the governor rod comes in. I could fix it, but I'd have to pull the muffler off, pull the governor out. Sometimes you can fix it going in through there where the governor rod goes through. Other times you got to pull the bottom half apart to get to it. It's such a huge pain in the butt if that's the case. So anyway, we got to clean that up, check the oil on it. He ran it all summer. It didn't even burn a half a quart of oil. It didn't even drip out a half quart of oil, even though it looks like there's a lot under there. It's just dirt and everything gets to it, so it makes it look worse. But anyway, so it's still fine. We're just going to double check that, make sure it's still fine for him, and he doesn't have to worry about that. We're going to take care of the air filter. We're going to dump the oil, put fresh oil, fresh filter on it. We are going to do the fuel filter. This tire has had a slow leak in it all summer long, so we're going to see if we can find that leak. If it's a pinhole or something somewhere, plug that for him, get that taken care of so you don't have to deal with that anymore. We just put fresh fuel in it when I picked it up from the other day. I have had to use a jump pack on it to go get it from him because it was dead. So the terminals I noticed are all corroded, so we're going to clean up all those terminals. I'm going to put a trickle charge in this battery, see if it even takes a charge. If not, we'll get him a new battery. But I think that one will probably be fine. Now we're going to scrape the deck out real good for him, and we are going to sharpen the blades, get fresh, sharp blades on it for him. And then this thing should be good to go. So that's the focus for today. Oil leak. I assure you it's not nearly as bad as it looks. Okay, we got the bulk, everything all vacked up. Okay, it was all full of grass, leaves, all kinds of stuff. Got that all vacked up. It was all wedged down in here. That's a big weight plate for the front. I'm not even sure how much it weighs, but it's pretty thick and it's solid steel. And then it was all packed down in here. Got all that taken care of. But you can see, so that's from an entire summer. You know, the oil that leaks down, and then it gets, you know, grass, dirt, everything sticks to it. So it makes it look way worse than what it actually is. The actual oil leak, where the governor rod goes in, if I can show you guys this, I'm not really sure how much the camera will pick it up, but the actual oil leak is right there. You see that? Right where that governor rod goes in right there, that's where the oil leak is. And there's a seal that goes in there. But we'll blow all this off, clean it all up. Clean that up. And like I said, he ran it for the entire summer. He only mows his lawn with it. So, you know, he's maybe on a half hour 40 minutes a week, and he didn't even leak out a half a quart of oil during that time. I checked on it every time I go pick him, or not every time I go pick him up, but every so often, like once a month as I picked him up, and I would check on it, and it was fine. So I also taught him how to do it, and he said he was checking it too. Was he really doing it? I don't know, but he says he was. So either way, I checked on it periodically just to make sure, and it was fine. So if it was like a regular full-time mower for us still, and it was in regular service every week, then I would fix the oil leak. But for him, it ain't gonna make a bit of difference. For the hassle it takes to fix that thing, it runs just fine. It'll be just fine for him. Okay, I just thought about something. For those of you that don't know, since we're doing a full service on this thing today, many of you don't know what this even is. Some of you might know. I would hope a lot of you know. But anyway, for those of you that don't know what this is, it is a 2010 SCAG V-Ride 1. This is the first V-Ride that SCAG came out with. They now have the V-Ride 2. It's right there. So that's how much different it is from the V-Ride 1. That's the V-Ride 2. But back to this machine. This is the SCAG V-Ride 1. It has a 52-inch deck on it. It has the Kawasaki, what is on this thing? It's the FX 730V, which means that's a 23.5 horsepower engine. It is carbureted. You have your deck adjust right there. Let me see if I can get you guys closer to give you a little bit better for those of you that really don't know what we're dealing with here. So, like I said, it's the Kawasaki FX 730V. That's a 23.5 horsepower carbureted engine. There's your deck lift with all your different height adjustments for, you know, pop your pin out, move the deck, put it where you need it to go. That is the parking brake, which we will shut off because we're gonna just push it forward and it's off. That's simple. There's a crack in the frame right there in the tower, not the main frame. This is just the tower that bolts on that holds all this. Not that important. Every one of them does this. Everybody I know that's ever had a V-Ride 1 has the crack right there. I believe there's even a crack on the other side. Yep, a slight crack starting right there. But it in no way affects the safety or the performance of this machine. It's just the tower. It's not the actual main frame. It just bolts to the main frame. Over time, could it cause an issue? Maybe, but more than likely not. Again, another thing, if I was going to run this in full service all the time, I'd probably weld it. But even then, it's been like that since I got it, and I ran it for, I think, 3 years. So, in full commercial use. So, nothing I'm worried about. This machine does have 1,481.4 hours on it. It is the original engine. The only thing that I've replaced on it, high end, so to speak, is I put wheel motors on both sides. Go back and check out the video where I think the thumbnail is this machine with that side down the ground and that wheel missing. It literally snapped off while I was mowing. That's a fun video. Go check that one out. This is a platform. This part flips up so you can actually get closer to it and you can walk behind it if you want to. Comes down. That pedal there is for the power chute. Actually, what am I doing? The power chute isn't going to work because there's no battery on it, but press it forward, the power chute goes down. Press the back side of it, power chute comes up. You can stop it anywhere in between. I run them on every machine I have. It's on that machine, it's on that machine, it's on that machine, it's on that machine. I have it on the side discharge deck for the walker. It is also on my 32. It's the only chute blocker that I use. But anyway, so that's the deal with this. I believe the tank is 5.5 gallons, if I remember correctly. Might be a little bit more. That's pretty much the basics, the gist of this machine. There's really not much to it. Nice and simple. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get this jacked up. I'm gonna pop this wheel off here, and we're gonna see if we can find whatever the leak is, or wherever the leak is that Noah's having an issue with this. See if we can fix it for him. So it seems I plugged it right there at one point. That plug might be leaking. If it ripped bigger at all. Let's see what else we got here. Anything that seems noticeable. Don't really see anything in the sidewalls. I can see anything in the tire. So bubbles out of that. Okay, the next obvious one's usually the valve stem. Wow, that's great. Not getting any bubbles on there either. Found a spot. Get some more water in here, I think I'm getting a couple spots where tiny little bubbles are building up, but not much at all. If you guys have a business and you're not just a homeowner, I highly suggest you get one of these. Even homeowners it's nice for, but this is called the Jungle Jack. They make another version out. It has 2 arms that come out. I've had this one for years. I have no reason to upgrade it. It still works perfectly fine. It just has a hook on the end, and all you do is stick it right up under the deck so that it hooks on the deck. Push it down like that. Grab the machine. It ain't going nowhere. Now, to take blades off SCAG mowers, a lot of mowers, almost all of them used to be like this back in the day. A lot of them have switched now, so there's a bolt that goes right up through the blade. Most of them are 15/16, some are different. I know Max Marks, my Toros were different, but most of them are 15/16s. With SCAG, and I don't know if there's any more that are still doing this. SCAG is still doing it. The V-Ride 2s, the new ones are all still doing this. I wish they would stop. But you got to put a wrench on top and something on the bottom. Gun, wrench, whatever. Because there's a nut on top, the bolt comes all the way up through. I wish they would just go to the other style like everybody else, like Wright does. Like, it's so much easier. I use this Milwaukee gun. This thing is, I believe, 425 or 450 foot-pounds of torque. I used to use this gun. This one's a 3/8 drive. This one's a 1/2 inch drive. This gun is 1,485 foot-pounds of torque, okay? It's way more than even my air impacts. That's why I always use battery. Battery's just easier anyway. But I have actually, on the Toro, running the bolt up through. It doesn't have the nut on top, just the bolt up through, running up there. I've literally ran it up there and it ran in too hard and it stripped the threads right out and the blade fell right off the bottom. So this one here doesn't overdo it. It's just the easier way. Nut on top. That's what it looks like going through. So got a spacer, SCAGs have them. Not all mowers do. A lot of them have like 1/4 inch thick washers, a whole bunch of them. SCAG just uses one piece. And that's your bolt that goes up through. They look just like that. And then you put the nut on the top. There is torque settings for these. I have never ever torqued a blade in my life. I have no idea what the torque settings are. If you're that interested in it, you can definitely Google it, obviously, look it up. Any of your 3 blades. Looks like Noah didn't really run that much stuff over this year. There's really no chunks out of them. That one's got a little bit right there, but no big deal. We can clean that up and get fresh blades put back on there. For those of you that don't know what I use, this is the RBG 712. Never have had any thoughts about changing up. I used to do it the old way for many years. I did it with a regular hand grinder. And it works, that'll get you by, but this will give you, because of these angles, will give you a perfect 30-degree angle every time. Those of you that, I've had a lot of people comment on my videos over the years and said, it's really not that important. If you don't get the perfect 30-degree angle, will it cut grass? Yes, of course, the blade will cut grass if it's sharp. But it's how clean it'll cut it and the duration of how long it stays sharp. When you have a perfect 30-degree angle, your blade stays sharp way longer and you'll get a much cleaner, much more even cut. So for me, this is just the only way to do it. Perfect 30-degree angle, nice clean cut. You'll get a clean cut out of that every time. I'll do both sides and I'll put it down there on the balancer, make sure the blade's balanced, and then I'll run, I always run this, you don't really have to, but grass gets chunked up on here, and I run over the wire wheel right here and clean all that up off there. Now this is what I do. I'll give you guys an example. So when I'm putting blades back on a mower, I usually sharpen my blades every week. Sometimes, depending on how much mowing we're doing, heavy in the spring, it'll be like every 2 to 3 days. But we mow a lot of properties. So I look for that squared off edge. Okay, it should be a full 90-degree squared off edge. If they're rounded at all, like this one is a little bit, this one's not too bad. This one here's not, this one's actually in even better shape, so it's like pretty much 90 on both ends. It's squared right off. That's what you want, that's what you're looking for. You're not going to want that blade on your cutting edge, on your, like your trimming edge is what we call it. So this one here, this one's like, it's rounded right off. And whenever you have it rounded off, it's gonna leave that row of stragglers. Like you'll look back and everything's cut nice and even. You have them few long stragglers sticking up. And I'll show you what I mean. So whenever you're cutting anything, this is your trimming side. That's your discharge side. Obviously discharge because it's throwing everything out of the deck. So your trimming side, you want your best blade to be over there. Next best blade, your worst blade on the discharge side. Why? The reason why is because when you're going along flower beds, around houses, along sidewalks, everywhere you go, you're gonna be using this edge of the deck to get close to everything to cut down on the amount of weed whacking you're doing, to cut down your trimming. So you want your best blade over there so it's cutting perfectly clean right up to the edge of the deck. So you won't leave any stragglers, because then that's just that much more weed whacking you're gonna have to go back and do. So you want your best blade over here all the time. Your discharge side is where you want your worst blade. Okay, the blades are back on. I checked underneath the deck to scrape it. There's nothing under there. Noah must have been mulching up a lot of leaves in the fall. For those of you that don't know, if you have a bunch of grass packed up under your deck, drive over a bunch of leaves, especially dry leaves, and just start mulching those leaves up and go over them. Those leaves act like an abrasive, and they will literally clean almost 90% of everything out that's packed up under your deck. It just eats it right out of there and gets it right out of there. So running over leaves in the fall, good way to clean your deck. Unless you haven't cleaned it all year and it's hammered and packed right in there, then It takes a lot of leaves to start cleaning that out, but it'll get the majority of everything right out of there. Okay, so next we're gonna address this air filter. I do this all season long. I can't tell you how many years I've been doing this. I did it for all the other companies I worked for doing landscaping or mowing grass, and I've been doing it for I'm going 11 years of being in business. Okay, or 10 years, actually 2013, yeah, I started in 03 on my own. So this is my 10th season in business. And I've been doing it forever, never had an issue. Some guys have an issue with the way that I do this, and I will tell you why. So I pull these air filters out, okay? But, so I change them out when they're bad and they're just not, like, they're just nasty looking and there's just no real hope for them anymore. Like, I can look down the inside and I can see light coming through. So this is what I do, and I do this all season. I do it every 2 to 3 days, especially in the drier months. Let me show you what I do. Let me show you what I do that everybody frowns upon so much, and then I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why they have an issue with it. See, almost nothing came out of this filter because it's clean, and he doesn't put that many hours on the machine. Now, when we use it, especially in the fall or in drier months, you'll blow through it and stuff will go everywhere. It blows all that dust, any leaves that got in there, any crap, particles, anything, blows it all right out of there. I get all the rough, thick stuff off the outside and in between all the fins. And then I stick the air gun on the inside and just move it around and blow, so it blows pressure outward and blows anything that was stuck in the fins left in there, blows it right out. Perfectly fine, no issues. Depending on where you go, these filters will range from 20 to 50 bucks a filter. If you change these things every week versus cleaning them every week, you will go broke. You will not be in business very long, especially with, depending on how many mowers you have, it could cost you a lot of money really fast. So why do people have issues with these? Well, I've heard it on some people's channels, and to be honest with you, I think that it's more of a fear they have rather than knowledge. They say that it's bad for it because if you have air or condensation in your tank and you blow through there, you're blowing water particles into the filter. Not gonna happen. If you drain your tank every once in a while and you get rid of the condensation in your tank, you don't have to worry about that. Blow it out clean, and you should be draining your tank anyway, so you're not blowing water through your line into anything. Look who just showed up. Good morning, Billy. What are you wearing?
Outfit.
You're wearing a hoodie, sweatpants, and shit kickers. Did you bring me a present?
I sure did. A mean bean monster.
Well, man.
And then I had to get tea.
You're a good fella, Billy. I don't care what they say about you. I was just sitting there thinking, am I gonna go in the break room and grab a water or grab a beer? Well, what time is it? It's noon 09.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's noon 09. Beer 30. Going through Noah's mower here today. So, like I was just telling the wonderful fans at home, fans, do we have fans, Billy? We have haters.
We got haters.
We have haters for sure. And they get my number off my truck and everything. I woke up this morning to a voicemail. You know what it said? So my voicemail says something along the lines of, you know, you've reached Randy at Countryside Lawn. Sorry I couldn't get to my phone. Please leave your name, your phone number, the service you would like done, and the address of the service to be performed. That's so much easier because then if I get a chance, I can't call them back or whatever right away. I can Google map it, look at it, or if I'm driving by it, I can look at the property real quick. And then when I call them back, I can actually have some valuable information to give them. You know, versus, okay, you know, well, thanks, give me all the information. Okay, well, I'll go look at it, get back to you. No, this way I can get back to them with information, not waste my time or theirs. But I woke up to a voicemail this morning and it said, Yeah, the service I'd like to perform is to put my rod right in you. Click. Some deep dude's voice. I don't know.
See, you know what I was thinking about the other day when I posted pictures of my truck on my Snapchat. I was like, shit, I left the phone number out on the side because I didn't like mark it out,
right?
Like so nobody would see it, but I actually left the number out.
I mean, my phone number's everywhere. It's on. There's hundreds of people that wear countryside clothes that I've made shirts, sweatshirts, family, friends, everything like that. It's on all of our trucks. It's on, they advertise in the Sentinel newspaper. I don't do it, the Business Association does it for me. They run an ad in it every year. It's on websites everywhere. It's on Google search. Like, my number's not hard to find. So anybody
you literally
can
type
get
in your
my
name
number.
on Google, I thought it before, and your freaking phone number comes right up.
Yeah, so I'm not hard to get a hold of. Do I ever answer my phone? Almost never. I absolutely hate talking on the phone. I hate it. Hate it!
The only reason why I talk on the phone sometimes is just I get my point across real quick and then I hang up. Just so I don't have to type out a whole freaking.
Yeah,
phone.
I hate it. I hate talking on the phone.
Call them real quick, get my point across, and I hang up real quick.
I hate it. Text me every time. I'll answer you. Text me, send me a snap, whatever. I hate talking on the phone. Do it by email, do it by text. Like I just don't like it. I don't like it. So.
Currently,
Yeah.
old Rhonda the Honda over there is in parts.
Yeah, I was showing in the beginning you ripped that bike out.
She's in pieces.
It's cold out there today, Billy.
I know. I woke up. I looked out my window and I was like, no chance. We got a little bit of some snow.
Yeah.
My whole front windshield was ice.
Mine wasn't, because I hit the remote start and I was screwing around the house and I realized that
I did too.
it ran for a while. So I hit the remote start and let it run again.
Well, remember my defrosting don't work. So even when
That's right, we got to get on that. Okay, so I'm putting these terminals back on here. I'm going to take, this is my favorite, and I buy it like this because for all my plows, you press it in, you can squirt it right inside the plugs. Put a little bit on there, a little bit of dielectric grease, put that through because that one's on that side. Put a little bit over here on this side. Hopefully we can keep this corrosion down. Bless you, child.
Thank you.
Whenever you're doing a battery on anything, whether it's a mower, a car, what do I do with them wrenches? I put them away. So whenever you're taking a battery on or off of anything.
Oh, negative. Or take the positive off first.
Negative, Billy.
Or negative. I said negative first. Listen, it's too early in the morning. I'm just kidding.
You always do the negative side first.
Yep.
So when you're taking a battery off, you do the negative side first. When you're putting it back on, the negative side last. That's why I just did the positive right there.
Go zappy zappy.
Yeah, you go zappy zappy, all right. Don't blow up your brother's mower now.
It's been a few centuries.
All right, I guess now you find out.
I just did find out.
Nothing? Absolutely nothing?
I'm like, I did just find out.
Okay. Yeah, it's good enough. Good enough for the girls I go with.
Yeah. 1.01.
Okay, well that's reading 12.6 on that battery. How can it read absolute? You know what? The only way that this battery can read absolute zero like that, it has to have a dead cell in it.
Which means battery shot.
Which means battery
you need
shot.
another battery.
Which means you need another battery. I'll put the meter back on it. Jump pack's over there. I'll put the meter back on it and I'll see if it even shows that it's charging.
Oh, you're talking about batteries and stuff.
Batteries and whatnot. It's called battery, not battery.
Now-
It's not spelled B-A-T-R-E-E. It's B-A-T-T-E-R-Y. Battery,
No, it's
not
battery.
battery. Does
bat-
it look like a freaking tree to you?
Yeah.
It's battery.
It's
not
battery.
battery.
It's battery.
Get you a damn education,
Just
boy.
like it's root, not route. And it's crick, not creek.
It's root. thing was charging, right now this meter would be over here where it says charging system, and it would say okay. Or be red. But right now, it's right there. We'll give it a little bit of throttle. It shut off, but that's actually weird. That thing didn't move a bit. It should at least be over in here while it's running. Is this broke? I literally loaned this out to somebody. Okay, so we put this on the V-Ride 2 and fired that up, and the needle went right up to okay on charging system. So it's not this. This works just fine. That battery is definitely screwed. There's no chance for that thing. It's done. So needs a new battery. That's the determination there. Okay, so this thing has brand new blades on it. What else I do is brand new blades on it. It got all the crap out of the freaking deck. New terminals on the power chute. We have cleaned everything up, all there, the connections, all that's good. Last thing we got to do is change the oil. I'm going to wait till we get the battery. Put a new battery in it. We'll start up, let it run for a while. I mean, I could do that with the jump pack and let it run, but I'm just going to wait till I put a new battery in. We got plenty of time for the season to start before he needs his back anyway. We'll put a new battery in it for him, and we'll run it, let that oil get nice and heat up, dump the oil, put new oil, new filter in it. He'll be good for the season. We change them every 50 hours and everything else. You got to do it like every 100, but we change them every 50. He's good for the season on this. So we'll do that for him. Put a little K100 in the fuel mixture. So in that way, that's good for him. We'll check the hydros. Everything there should be good. And I think that'll be about the last thing we got to do. Oh, then we're going to hose the whole thing down with degreaser, and we're going to pressure wash it to get all that excess oil, dirt, sludge, everything off there. And then it'll be good for him to get back. So it was a service day on the SCAG V-Ride 1. And for those of you that still run these things, this thing still cuts like a dream. Actually, this one cuts better than the V-Ride 2. That's a much nicer machine to ride. And there's a lot of things about that make that machine way better than this one, but this definitely cuts better. And especially in wet grass, which is ridiculous because they're supposed to be the same identical deck. But that one, that's what they say. But when you look really close, there are a couple small differences. But this deck definitely cuts better in wet grass than that deck. But they do call it the same deck. Was it the advantage deck or something?
I'll admit about the right, alright? Listen to this.
About the right?
I'll give you one point on this, alright? The only thing that I like about that right, better than that SCAG, is when you cut and like when you back up, it doesn't leave that ugly line.
No mowers do, except for SCAG.
Yep.
So when you're on a SCAG mower, whether it's a sit-down stand or it doesn't matter. Yep. If you cut and then you're going backwards and you're cutting backwards, because sometimes you have to do that, you look in front of you, it leaves that long trail of that chopped up grass just in a line. Then you got to drive back over again to disperse it and throw it out. Will not throw grass out the deck, out the side, while you're mowing in reverse. All SCAGs are like that. Every other mower in the market, I can mow in reverse all day with that Ferris, with the X-Mark Vantage, with the Toro grandstand, with the right.
Does it.
Yep, all those. I can do it all day in any of them. And you mow backwards all day and it looks exactly the same as if you mowed forward. But SCAG decks, can't do it. That is one of the biggest things I hate about SCAG decks. But I love SCAGs. I love the way they cut. Guess what?
Bless you. That
Woo!
grass. That and
Yeah, and they don't. SCAG does not handle wet grass that well. It doesn't do bad, but it doesn't do great by any means.
It doesn't throw it as much.
I would take that right. I take the right, the Ferris, X-Mark, Toro. I'll take any one of them. Hands down, if I had to pick one, Toro. you can't touch a turbo force deck when it comes to a wet grass.
The
But-
Toro, that I like that deck in the wet grass or even in dry grass. It just throws it so far. But I just like how comfortable that SCAG is. That SCAG is just, I could be on that thing all day long and not get off it once.
I like the right because it cuts really, really well, but at the same time, it's so compact front to back. Like, you ride around that Standard X for a little while, then you jump onto that V-Ride 2, which is more compact than the V-Ride 1. They did make them more compact.
Oh, yeah.
But you jump from one to the other one, you feel like you're on a Cadillac with that big, long front hood like they used to be. It's night and day difference. Like, if I had all right Standard X's, I could fit so many more on a trailer than you do with the SCAGs, because they are
That
longer.
SCAG just kicks up something.
Yeah, but yeah, it's, I don't know, I love it. All right, well that's it, wrapping it up, we're done. Wanna go to the gym? Did you just really shit yourself right here? Oh, I can taste that. I had my mouth open and everything, Shrek.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, what did you eat?
I don't know.
I'm not cooking for you anymore.